ask you about credit. I read something the other day about people buying these big, expensive cars, not people with big, expensive paychecks, and having houses that maybe are a little bit more expensive than they should be able to have. And that's got to hurt guys like you and people in this room. Is that something you see day in, day out?
Well, I'll give you both answers. Cars, yes, it's, look in front of this facility. There's Ferraris and, Mercedes and everything you name parked in front of this. I'm not sure who's driving them, but the expensive cars are there. I think people buying the McMansions has backed off a little bit. I think it's a different reality in 2015 than it was in 2008. So there's still a lot of people out there upside down on mortgages, but I don't think people are overbuying homes now. And even in construction, while you're seeing very nice homes built, I don't think people are getting themselves in that same situation. I think there's a little more caution now than there was.
And that's not a problem for you, as perhaps it was at some other time.
7 or 8 years ago, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, the other thing that we still are missing, though, is first-time home buyer. They're not back in the market yet. And that is something we need to drive the home building industries. You got to find a way to get that first time out of college or within 5 years of being out of college buying those homes, because then that works all the way up the chain, flipping from bigger to bigger to bigger.
Well, that was another thing that I think was mentioned here, selling millennials. And a lot of millennials have a lot of money. A lot of them own homes. A lot of them don't, but a lot of them do. And they don't seem to have independent floor covering retailer on their radar screen.
We, well, the way I was raised, when you needed floor covering, you went to a floor covering store. The next generation younger me and a generation younger than that is not even sure what a floor covering store is. You have to really advertise and grab them, and you've got to have a great website to catch their attention. You have to have a mobile, so when they do it on their smartphone, it draws them in. They think if you need an appliance, you go to a big box. If you need floor covering, why don't I go where I bought my appliances? That's not what we want them to think. We've got to find them. We still know they're going to do that because the boxes are going to out-advertise your average retailer. But our hope is they go there and a specialty retailer.
Is that the next big challenge for retailers? I have a lot of retailers tell me, well, once they understand the service and the expertise that we have, which is true, but you've got to be in the right place to educate them before the fact, and you never know the ones that don't come in your front door.
Our particular company, we track virtually everything from our customers. So we literally try to find out what brings them into our store, what kind of advertising brought them in. And we have now started to look at how much, because our stores both are completely full service, and we sell more cash and carry, do-it-yourself than we ever did before. Really? Not even on purpose. There's just a part of the population now who is comfortable doing things themselves. Not carpet, that's almost all professionally installed, but hardwood, even ceramic floors, people are doing that. So we're even finding ways to try to attract and make sure those customers know they can come and buy something from us too.
That's not on purpose.
It is now. It is now. Once you start looking at your business and seeing how many people come in and want to try something on their own, but they still want a little more information. One of our little taglines when we advertise is your local experts, and sometimes a guy thinks I really want to try that, but maybe I need to talk to somebody to really walk me through it first. And that's getting to be a bigger part of
That's a breakthrough. I mean, a lot of people, and it sounds like you hadn't really thought about, cash and carry a great deal.
Well, when you watch your market segment change and the big boxes get so much of that cash and carry business, you've got to find a way to attract and do those things too. And the other thing against the boxes is we may not get the first purchase they make at a box, but if they don't have a great experience, and I think you're starting to see that turn, I think you're starting to see people who maybe bought from one of the box stores and everything didn't go personally, or maybe it was harder to get their problem taken care of. Now they want the service. Your second experience might be, well, let's give that specialty retailer a try, and let's see how that goes now, and then you might have a chance to shine a little better this time.
What's the biggest change that you enacted in your store during 2014, and so far this year? Is there some sizable change?
I won't say there's a sizable change. There are complete and major differences now than there was before. It is finding and recruiting employees. Now that we're growing again, now the business is very good, frankly, and you'll hear a lot of that from other people. A change, I don't know if it's something we've changed, but it is harder to attract and get people back into this industry. I think we're all looking to hire more employees and ways to grow from where we are right now.
Is it harder hiring younger people now than it was 10 years ago?
Absolutely. And different. 10 years ago, if the first thing I would talk to someone about that came to us is, if you come to our company and we educate you on our processes, and basically you would invest a year in learning this business and the whole thing, and that those people would stay with us forever. I mean, I have people in our company that have been in our company longer than I have, and I own it. So, I mean, it was the kind of thing where it became an absolute career forever. Young people now, that almost scares them. We've had to almost change our recruiting to where that's not part of our initial pitch, because they're like, a job for life? I'm not looking for a job for life. I'm 25 or 30 years old, and in college they tell them now, you're going to have 7 to 9 different jobs. And if you're saying I have to do the same thing forever, it's a completely different thought process than it was before.
And I guess what? Technology, would I imagine, be an important part of a young person coming into any job today?
Absolutely. If they can't grab a smartphone or an iPad or something and quickly look up information and get things, and your customer expects that. Your stores have to be more automated, and we're all going through that. I mean, I sat next to Terry Wheat today, who owns and runs RFMS, probably one of the brightest, best technological guys on the planet, and they're moving light speed. They're finding new things every day.
Are your counterparts out there moving at light speed as well, do you think, or are they sort of dragging their feet?
If you drag your feet too long in this, you're going to be drug under. Let me just say that. You have to change. It's just what's going to be expected.
Nick, I appreciate you talking with us. I appreciate you having us here.
It is always a pleasure, and it was nice to have you at the WFCA today.
Well, it really was, and I was wondering in the beginning, wonder why they're having us here, and then Scott really answered that question, and it fit into the real master plan.
I think they just have so much going on. If the word can get out and people hear about it, there's a lot of excitement in the organization. And when people find out that really it's just to make the flooring industry better, there's a lot of us who...
We're all trying to do that.
Let's hope it happens.
Thanks so much, Nick.
Nice
It's always great
again.
talking with you. Nick Freadreacea, we're at the WFCA. He's a retailer from Louisville, Kentucky, 5 stores. This is Talk Floor TV.